What up, y'all? Jarvis Timoteo, FitBy50 and JarvesTimoteoTheArtist, all the same. So I'm gonna be talking about a little bit of everything. As you know, I've been doing my FitBy50 page for the past 2 years, documenting my progress. So I started from when I was 48, and now I am 3 weeks away from turning 50. So I have 3 more weeks till I take the pictures and also do my strength test that I started with, and also do all my measurements and so forth. So it's exciting times. It's exciting times. Looking forward to it. But just to give you heads up, I'm going to start doing more live things because it's about that time to do it, you know? So it's interesting. So last week, I started to. Oh, first, let me just give you a breakdown of what's been going on so far. So, those of you, some of you may be aware that I started making music. I mean, I've always been making music. I've always written music. I always sang. But now it's official. I am officially a singer, songwriter, even music composer. Of course, I use AI to do it. But at the same time, I've been playing guitar, ukulele, learning how to play some keys, and I've just been very musically inclined my whole life. So the fact that I get to do this now, it feels like I've waited all this time for technology to catch up so that I can use technology in a way that can bring my dreams to life, you know, so, and allowing me to create. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a privilege to be able to do it, because also, as you may be aware, I mean, I am a Jehovah's Witness, and a lot of the reason why I didn't pursue anything with arts in regards to music, dancing, or any of those things, or even acting, it was because of the fact that I am a Jehovah's Witness and I didn't want to pursue that or expose myself to that lifestyle. So therefore, I've been a bricklayer for 30 plus years. And it's interesting because my engineering experience, also running work as a bricklayer, having to coordinate and communicate with large crews, it's very similar to composing music, because in order to compose music, you have to know what each instrument is capable of doing. And if you had skilled players at your fingertips, similar to running a crew, I had to coordinate for bricklayers, laborers, windows, waterproofing, carpentry, electricians. All of these things is a lot of coordination, and all that skill in regards to learning how to put people together, knowing how to read personalities and put them together to get the most efficient work out of these individuals. It's similar to composing music. So I feel like my whole life has been similar to like a Slumdog Millionaire. I've had so many experiences in my life that's leading up to this point right now, and I'm just happy and feel privileged to be able to create something that hopefully the world can appreciate. I know that why I'm doing it, and that's the reason why I'm sharing everything, and I'm not afraid to share, because the fear in me that existed before, that anxiety of sharing my experiences and sharing, it no longer exists in me. I'm no longer tied to the person I used to be. I'm looking ahead to the person who I want to be, and I'm currently living my life as that individual. And that individual is going to play every instrument, similar to Prince, you know what I'm saying? And I look forward to being able to play music, hopefully with Prince and Michael Jackson, King David. I mean, all of these individuals who are skilled lyricists and skilled musicians. So, of course, this is kind of like a rambling on session because it encompasses all of my pages, the Jarvis Timoteo the Artist page, and also my FitBy50 page. So I have 2 years of documenting my health, and obviously I'm a different person than when I started. I also had surgery, so there's so many things that took place that I had to overcome within the past 2 years. And it's been interesting because this past year, after my surgery, last year, the beginning of the year, 2025, January, I had my surgery. And immediately I started, like, the recovery was just great. February, feeling better. March, I was able to start going back to the gym and just continuing on the grind. But then I had a breakthrough. I've been having so many breakthroughs every day. It seems like I'm a new man. I'm a different man. So, and that's the goal, is to every day become better than you were yesterday. And it's that simple. If we live our lives like that, we will do that all the way until 1,000 years and we reach perfection. So it's a beautiful thing to have experienced that. And so last year, focusing on my health, every time I was in the gym, I decided to only listen to positive things. So I took secular music out of the playlist when I went to the gym, and I only listened to lectures, articles, the Bible, and music from the jw.org app. So, and in doing so, there were times my gym sessions would be 2 to 4 hours, and a lot of times I tried to increase it to 4 hours a day because I felt it was a job to get my health, my mental health, my physical health, and my spiritual health all in order. So I approached it in that manner. So 4 hours, it was like 4 hours a day. I had a series of lectures that I would listen to for morning worships, and that I saved, and I would listen to these. The lectures consisted of 2 hours long, and sometimes I would listen to it twice in a day. And I would switch it up to music, because the music from the jw.org apps is if you want to level up, the music is a way to go because it's so influential. And so in doing that for the past year, I clocked in a lot of time meditating, feeding myself spiritually, communicating with Jehovah. And in that time, if you count the time, it was a good amount of time. And there was one lecture that helped me to think this way, and it was Brother Malenfant, and he spoke about back in the day when Gilead graduates graduated from Gilead, and they went out and they had to learn a language, a new language, where they were assigned to. He said the first 30 days, the branch required each individual to study language for 11 hours a day for the first 30 days. So that's, if you clock that, that's 330 hours in 30 days. And then the second month was 120 hours, or 4 hours a day, and 100 plus hours in the ministry. So 4 hours a day is 120 hours. So within the first 60 days, they clocked 550 hours learning the language. So if you were to do that, and then the third month it was learn the language as you can. So, but the branch knew at that time, if you clocked in 550 hours within 60 days, you're well on your way to have a good solid foundation. So then it helped me to realize and reason that in reality, that's all we have. Every individual on earth today, it doesn't matter how much money you have or what you possess. The only thing we really possess is time. And each of us have the same allotted time in the day. And so really, we need to ask ourselves, what are we spending our time doing? Because whatever you're doing, you're paying for it with your attention. And that's why it's called pay attention. So if you want to be a better individual overall, you need to think of your future self and make current decisions for that individual. If you want to be something different, you need to clock in the time. So that's what I did. And if you were to count the time that I did, so I not only was able to exercise, but I was also able to feed myself spiritually. And if you clock the time that I spent, that I paid throughout the past year, it's helped me in so many ways. It's drastically, it transformed me into a new man. But also it allowed me to come up with have so many ideas and content for music. And also last year I was also for 150 days, those of you ever seen my content on FitBy50, for 150 days I had a scripture and also neurologically scientific point of view. I did this for 150 days. I had all this content. So with that content, when it was time for me to make music, it kind of just flowed out of me. So so now, for those of you who aren't aware, I mean, I've dropped 3 albums and a few singles on Spotify and YouTube. Wasn't even aware that I could. A month ago or so, I started making music using Suno, just to see what I can do. I had a bunch of writings. I had poetry that I wrote for Poetry Slam during COVID, and we had friends from all over Europe, Africa. It was all over, and we were all sharing poetry. So I took all that poetry that I had from that time and I turned them into songs. And when I started doing that and then creating the melodies for it, it was just awesome. And the content, I mean, the music that was coming out, I kept it in my vocal range because the goal was and is for me to sing them live and record them live and then release them. That was the original goal, was to release them that way. But during the process, while I was making the music, I found out that I can release them now. So the reason why I chose to release them now is because I feel the content is so good and I feel like it can help so many people. So why sit on something? Why bury the talent in the ground? And that's the reason why I started sharing, and the reason why I released it on public and social media platforms. So you can use all the music that I released on your IG, TikTok, or whatever, because it's on almost all the platforms except Apple Music and iTunes. But yeah, the reason why I put it, so technically, I mean, I uploaded my voice, so Suno was able to use some of my vocals, but also my vocals have a variety of ranges. It has a wide range because I grew up singing a lot of Motown, And then I grew up singing a lot of like Mario, Chris Breezy. I grew up singing a lot of Michael Jackson. Before I used to hit a falsetto, but now with my voice, I can't hit all those notes, but I still have a very wide range in my vocal capabilities, and I'm working on them now. So, and everyone's vocals can get better with exercise. So I still plan to sing every single one of my songs that I released. It did use my vocals on the songs. A lot of people were asking, but at the same time, they're all in the ranges that I can sing. So I will sing them live and release them again, and then at that time, they will be my music. Right now, because I use Suno to create them. There's a lot of technicalities with it. I'm not going to get into that because it doesn't really matter to me. The reason why I'm doing it is really just because I'm bringing praise to my God, my Father, and our King, Jesus. So that's why I'm doing it. And if I can provide a soundtrack for our brothers and sisters around the world, a soundtrack to their lives, or even just help anyone cope with certain things that they're dealing with, so it's worth it for me. And it doesn't bother me for criticism. If anyone has criticism, it doesn't bother me. I understand now that everyone's feelings is personal. It has nothing to do with me. So I'm putting my music out there. Really, I have clean motives, and that's the reason why. But it's a beautiful thing. I really appreciate if you enjoy it. I appreciate it, and if it helps, I'm thankful. If you don't, hey, everyone has a right to turn the channel, turn the TV off. You know what I'm saying? So, if it triggers things for you, then I would recommend you maybe not view it. But also, really tells something about each individual, what you choose to consume. But there's nothing wrong or bad about the content that I'm creating. Another thing, so with FitBy50, I have 3 weeks away. So last week I consumed a good amount of food because I'm trying to feed more of my muscles, because normally I fast. I eat once a day, and then sometimes I take 2 to 3 days off. The most I've fasted was like 4 days, but because this is the last month, I really want to try and attack the visceral fat that's in my body. So last week I ate a good amount of protein to try and feed my muscles, and then this week I plan to fast for at least 5 days. So far I've already fasted 24 hours so far. And it doesn't, it's liquid fast. I still drink protein shakes because I don't want my body to consume my muscles when I fast. So that's the goal. So I still want to feed my muscles so that I can burn more visceral fat. So that's the goal. And it's interesting because right now I think I'm like 225. But it's interesting because my body feels smaller. I think I have a lot of, when I was born, I was 10 pounds. So the doctor said my bones were really dense because I was a skinny baby. Of course, yeah, that's what I was told. So, but it seems to be the case now because I'm still 225 and I'm smaller. I'm like the same size as guys who are like 180, 190, and wearing the same clothes, because I can wear a size 36 to 38 pants. So it's interesting. So I don't think I'm going to lose much weight. I'll probably get to 210 maybe, 210, and I mean, I think by then we'll see. The goal is to see what weight and where I'm at till, you know, like the abs start showing. But really, it's not about the looks. It's really about being fit and being healthy. And honestly, I've considered my health part of my spirituality. So I'm just I want to offer our Creator a clean sacrifice. That's the reason why I'm doing it. But that's pretty much it, y'all. I mean, expect I'm going to be dissecting each of my songs, kind of like explaining what I was thinking when I wrote them. So far I dropped 3 albums. The first one was Lessons Learned. That's pretty much all my poetry and stuff that I wrote during the pandemic, and it talks about from childhood up to, you know, with current self. And then the second album was not all my experiences, but it was writing songs for using other examples, and also focusing on mental health. I do a lot of mental health stuff. So the second album is Elevated and Grounded, because elevated in purpose but still grounded in something like that. But being elevated mindset but still grounded in the truth, similar to being like in a tree, because that's the reason why I took the picture. I was in a tree because even though being elevated, touching the tree is still grounded to the earth. So there's a lot of science. I study a lot of neuroscience and quantum physics as well. So the third album was Transfer of Knowledge, and that's like the reason why I made that. I mean, is really that's what we need. We need to transfer knowledge to each other. I mean, each generation needs to pass on to the next. And along the way, I feel the world has detached from that. But I feel that's by design, because Satan is out there, and that's what that's what he wants to accomplish. But our goals, I mean, we should all strive to want to be able to transfer knowledge to one another. So that was the thing behind that. But also I've added like West Coast bops to it, like beat. So the first one has kind of like a blues country type, like, because everyone, I mean, if you know me, I love all genres, but like blues, country, hip-hop feel. The second one has a little bit of everything, some reggae, like R&B, different. It's a whole vibe. And then the third one is like a lot of West Coast bops. It's a real, I was trying to create something that the friends could dance to. And then the one I'm working on right now is it's called Driving Down the Dirt Road Talking to Jehovah, because it's a country hip hop R&B album. So because I mean, everyone knows I got country influence, so I really wanted to make a country album that we can still, like, even if you're from the hood, you can still like bop to it. And there's some, you know, every one of my songs has bars. I mean, that's the thing, is like some of the things is easy to understand, some of them is like you're gonna have to dissect and kind of, because everything is scriptural that I like to bring out. So there you have it, y'all. I will try and chop this video up to help, you know, so it's not too much content. But hey, there it is. So JarvesTimoteoTheArtist, FitBy50, or OG's Papa. It's all the same, y'all.